Good day, learners. Let me once again welcome you to another round of my lecture series on BOSS 213, Principles of Marketing. As you can recall, we started the lecture some time ago, and I was able to cover 3 lecture sessions where we understand the various frameworks of marketing. Under the frameworks of marketing, I was able to take you into the various definitions of marketing. I was able to take you into the basic concept of marketing functions as well. So what I want you to do, I want you to go home and study evolution of marketing so that you understand how marketing evolved, how marketing came into being. So today, we intend to move into the next study session, which is going to be marketing mix. But let me quickly revise what we have done earlier on. If you can recall, I started with the correction of the misconception on the part of some people. Whenever you ask them to define marketing, they always end up by saying that marketing is merely buying and selling. And in my previous contact, I was able to explain to all of you that marketing is more than buying and selling. Why? Because marketing involves a whole lot of activities performed by organizations with direct the flow of goods and services from the producer to consumer or user. So after understanding the various definitions of marketing, we equally move into the basic concept of marketing, where we treated the concept of product or services, the concept of utility, value, and satisfaction, as well as the concept of market and exchange transaction. Finally, the concept of needs, wants, and intentions, demands. After understanding the basic concept of marketing, I equally took you into the marketing functions. If you can remember, I took you into those responsibilities that marketers are to be saddled with from time to time. Why? Because for marketing to be complete, there are some certain responsibilities that are needed to be carried out by marketers from time to time. What are these chains of responsibilities? That's what we treated some time ago, where we treated identification of customers' need or market, designing the product or services to satisfy the need, communicating information about the product or the services, making the product or services available, applying an appropriate strategy, an appropriate pricing strategy, market information, storage function, financing, as well as making the necessary service follow-up to ensure customer satisfaction after purchase. So as part of the continuation of my lecture series, today I'm going to take you into study session 5, where we are going to treat marketing mix. Why? Because marketers are mixers of events. We mix events. What are those events? Well, for us to understand those events, we needed to understand the whole concept of the marketing mix. As you can see from the slide, marketing mix are simply those terms being used to describe the combination of the 4 inputs that constituted the core of a company marketing system. What are those core elements of the company marketing system? As you can see on the slide, that is product, price, place, and promotion. This is what constituted the marketing mix element. It has different names. Some call them internal marketing variables. Some call them the purpose of marketing. But no matter how you look at them, they are the marketing programs which the marketing manager will put together to satisfy the target market. They have been simplified into what we call the purpose of marketing. That is product, price, place, and promotion. They are sometimes referred to as the controllable variables. They are called controllable variables because they are the variables within the marketing manager's possession, who has the power to manipulate with a view to satisfy the need of customers. So whenever you hear purpose, as I said earlier on, we mean the internal marketing variables. We mean the controllable elements. But what is interesting about this purpose of marketing, some scholars some authors have extended its usefulness by proposing another 7 P's. So now I want to inform learners that in marketing, what we have now is more than the 4 P's in marketing. We have up to 7 P's now. Why? Because some scholars came up with additional 3 P's, like Kotler. If you are to look at what Kotler says 1999, he built these 3 important elements as an integral part of the marketing mix. What are these 3 additional elements? People, process, and physical evidence. So based on what we have highlighted earlier on, product, price, place, and promotion, Kotler 1999 came up with another addition of people, process, and physical evidence. So marketing mix, as we said, has to do with the combination of those 4 elements of product, price, place, and promotion. So we want to take each element so that we can be able to understand what constituted these 4 elements. Why? Because for the purpose of this class, we are not to dwell on the 7 P's. For the purpose of this class, we are to dwell on only the 4 P's of marketing at this level. So as you can see, Stanton 1964 defined a product as simply a set of tangible and intangible attributes, including color, taste, size, packaging, manufacturer's prestige, retailer's prestige, as well as manufacturers and retailer services, which the buyer will accept as offering want satisfaction. This is the definition of a product by Stanton. Now, let's look at the definition clearly. As you can see, it is a set of tangible and intangible attributes. According to Stanton, a product is not merely a physical item. It could be a physical item in terms of tangibility. It could be a tangible item, and it could be the intangible. The tangible, a physical item like this pen, which you can see. There are some tangible items like what? Like the microphone I'm holding is tangible. You can see it. But according to Stanton, the definition does not stop at tangibility. He said including the intangibles, the ones which you cannot see in a form of services. Like the services I'm rendering to learners now is intangible. You cannot see it. Like the services being rendered by medical doctors is intangible. You cannot see it. Like the services being rendered by studio expert, you cannot see it. It's intangible. Like the service being rendered by mechanics, by painters, they are all intangible. So if you want to define a product, according to Stanton, you look at it from the perspective of tangibility and intangibility. This is the more reason why he said including the tangible and intangible items. That is to say, the one which you can see, which you can have a feel of it, and the one which you cannot see. But the definition according to Stanton does not stop at tangibility and intangibility. Stanton went further to say including it encompassing features. Be it the what? Be it the packaging, be it the color, be it the taste, be it the pricing, or even manufacturer's prestige as well as retailer's prestige. So according to Stanton, the term a product is not merely based on tangible and intangible items, including the what? Encompassing features of the product, the entire product attribute. Why? Because product are in some given features. It may be the style of the product, it may be the brand name, it may be the packaging, it may be the color. There are some with test. So according to Stanton, including these features. And it's not only the features, but if you want to understand according to Stanton, anything which the buyer will accept as offering want satisfaction as marketers, we assume it to be a product or a service. This is the conclusion on the part of on the part of Stanton on what constituted a product. It is anything which the buyer will accept as offering want satisfaction. According to Stanton, we should regard it to be product or services. So now, with this idea of what a product is all about, we can conclude that a product is anything offered for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption that may satisfy a want or need. So product can be physical object based on what I explained earlier on, or it could be a service, or it could be persons, it could be organization as well as ideas. So you don't just look at a product as a merely physical item. This is the notion that I want to correct in this class. And again, remember what we were trying to understand. We were trying to understand what is marketing mix. And in my definition of marketing mix, I said there are those marketing programs which the marketing manager will put together to satisfy the target market, which we said have been simplified into product, price, place, and promotion. So I now just explain what a product is all about. Now we want to understand what is a price. As you can see, according to March 1988, pricing is very, very important element in the marketing mix, as it is the only element of the marketing mix which produces revenue, while all other elements of the marketing mix are cost driven. If you are to look at the four elements of the marketing mix, the product, you spend money to produce the product. Promotional aspect, you spend a lot of money to conduct a lot of promotional campaigns. So also place, which is distribution. You spend a lot to distribute your product from one location to the other. So if you are to look at it, you spend heavily to conduct these three elements. But with respect to price, it is the only element of the marketing mix which produces revenue. You don't spend, but you use it to what? To generate some revenue. You use it to generate some resources that you can use to service the entire organization. So if you are to look at pricing, pricing generally is unique. Why? Because pricing of product tend to present peculiar problems to marketers. Why is it so? Why? Because when you price high, it may be rejected. When you price low, you may incur some losses. Then what do? Remember what I told you under applying an appropriate pricing strategy under the marketing functions. The right thing to do is to come up with an appropriate pricing strategy. You price to reflect cost, price to reflect competition, as well as pricing to reflect the nature of the customers. If you do that, it will help you to penetrate into the environment in a strategic manner. So if you are to look at pricing generally is a term being used to describe money value of an item. It is the term expressed in any monetary medium whereby the exchange occurs. If the exchange occurs in Nigeria, the monetary medium for such an exchange is the Nigerian naira. If it occurs in US, United States, the monetary medium for such an exchange is the United States dollars. If it is in Britain, the monetary medium for such an exchange is the British pound. If it is in Japan, it is what? The Japanese yen. If it is in Italy, the Italian lira. So this is the reason why we say it is a monetary medium whereby it helps in describing money value of an item whereby the exchange occurs. So if you are to look at the term pricing generally, you price your product to achieve some certain objectives as we mentioned earlier on. You may want to price because you want to recover production costs. You want to ensure returns on investment. You want to maximize profit. You want to ensure increase in your market share. So if you are to look at it, pricing tend to help marketers in achieving their marketing objectives. The objective may be that of profit maximization. It may be that of market penetration. It may be that of ensuring returns on investment and others. So before we continue, I want learners to understand the other element of the marketing mix, which is place. Whenever you hear place in marketing under the marketing mix element, it is same as distribution. Because when we say place, we mean location. When you produce the product, you must take it to a particular place. You must take it to a particular location to get rid of it. You can't produce your good and leave it in the warehouse. You have to take it to the marketplace where you can get rid of it at a profit level. So when you hear place, it's same as distribution in marketing. Why? Because if you want to take it to the marketplace, the process of such movement is what we refer to as distribution in marketing. Distribution is simply the physical movement of goods and services from the point on the production line to the point of use. So if you are to look at place, as I was saying, it is the third element of the marketing mix, which deals with how manufacturers distribute product to the consumers. And the movement of goods and services from the manufacturer to the consumer, as I've explained earlier on, is what we refer to as distribution. Now, with our understanding of the third element of the marketing mix, let's understand the last element, which is the first element, which is promotion. Whenever you produce your product, it is expected that you take it into the marketplace, when you take it into the marketplace through distribution activities, it is expected that you communicate information about the product or the services. So the process of the communication about the product and the services is what we refer to as promotion in marketing. As you can see, promotion is any effort whose function is to inform or persuade customers about the existence of a product or services with a view to induce them either to start or continue buying the product or the services. Now, let's take this definition by Kotler so that you can understand what promotion is all about in marketing. As you can see, he said, it is any effort whose function is to inform or persuade customers about the existence of a product or services. If you're embarking on any effort as a marketer, and the essence of such an effort is either to inform customers about the existence of a product or services, or to induce. When you say induce, to influence. Why? Because consumers, if they are to be left alone, ordinarily, they will never buy. Why? Because they tend to be portraying buying inertia. Consumers resist buying. They prefer to be influenced into buying. This is the more reason why in marketing we embark on some promotional campaigns, some promotional activities. And the essence of embarking on such promotional exercise is to induce customers into buying. Why? Because ordinarily, if they are to be left alone, they will never buy. They prefer to be coaxed into buying. Since they prefer to be induced into buying, you have to map out the right promotional strategy with a view to influencing them into buying. So whenever you hear promotion in marketing, it's not necessarily advertising campaigns. It is not necessarily information, but it may be any effort. But the effort is tailored toward information of customers. Why? Because customers needed a lot of information about the product or the services. And it is the responsibility of marketers to be providing such information. If you can recall what we did under marketing function, the third function, which is communicating information about the product or the services. We say communicating information about the product or the services is very, very vital. It's very, very important to marketers. And we caution marketers to make sure that it is the kind of communication that they always have customers into buying. And in the process of coming up with such kind of information that will help customers into buying, at times we inform, at times we persuade, at times we communicate. We do a lot, we come up with several strategies. At times we embark on the use of some promotional mix strategies. What are these promotional mix strategies? We involve ourselves in advertising campaigns. We involve ourselves in personal selling activities. We involve ourselves in sales promotional activities. We involve ourselves in not only sales promotional activities, but public relations activities. Why? Because public relations is of paramount importance to marketers. When you are involved in public relations activities, it will help you to create awareness about the activities of your organization. It will help you to build credibility. It will not only help you to build credibility, but it helps you to build image. And as you're using public relations activities to greater effect, is equally going to help you in holding down your promotion cost. You save cost of promotion. Why? Because in the case of advertising, you pay heavily to advertise. You pay heavily. You pay a media fee to a media concern so that the media concern can advertise your services. So if you pay, as you're conducting advertising campaigns, you're spending heavily. So also sales promotion, you conduct a lot of sales promotional activities whereby you give cash discount, you give quantity discount, you give pre-samples, you organize contests and give prizes. So if you're to look at sales promotional activities, you spend heavily to conduct sales promotional activities. So also, not only sales promotional activities, even what? Even public relations activities. You want to conduct public relations using the PR people. Who are the publicity people? The publicity people could be the journalists. The journalists will help you to build the image. They will help you to build the credibility. They will help you to create the awareness about the activities of your organization. And as you're doing it, you pay for what? You pay for the services. Why? Because if you are to look at publicity people, yes, even though publicity is not paid for, you pay the publicity people for their services in the form of brand envelope, which is always a privilege. By the time I'm taking into the various promotional mix elements, we are going to understand those aspects. So this is what I will take you into at the introductory level of the marketing mix element, where we attempted to understand what is a product, what is a price, what is a place, and what is promotion. Now, with our understanding of what constituted a product, as well as a price, place, and promotion. Now I want to take you back so that you can understand the various levels of a product. Why? Because we have 3 levels of a product. As you can see on the slide, we have the core product, the actual or the tangible product, as well as the augmented product. These are the 3 levels of the product. Is at 3 different levels. You can see from the core level, when we say the core, we mean the benefit. Let me give you an example. When you pick a bottle of Coke, you see the bottle. So the bottle is what we refer to as the actual or the tangible product. The actual, you see the physical form of the product. You see the size. If it is the physical, you see it with its encompassing features. It may be in a given size, with a given style, in a given color, some package. So this is what we mean by actual or tangible product. Then the core is the benefit. We are still making use of Coke, bottle of Coke as an example. The black liquid content. That black liquid content is what? Is the core product, which is the benefit. The liquid content is what? Is the benefit. So if you are to look at the core product simply means the benefit. For instance, the purchase of drill is buying holes. If you're inviting somebody to come and drill maybe a bore, it's the holes you're buying. It's not the drill you're buying, because it's the benefit you want. That's why I say if you're buying a bottle of Coke, it's not the bottle you're buying, it's not the physical item you're buying. But what you're buying is what? What you're buying is the liquid content. You want to get quality Coke drink. The kind of Coke drink that can be able to what? That can be able to quench your thirst, to become satisfied. Why? Because the name of the game is what? Is total satisfaction. You must derive maximum satisfaction in an effective as well as efficient manner. You attach importance to your purchases. And as you want to purchase, you want to ensure that you're buying good of good quality at a very, very reduced cost. So if you're to look at the product, why I want learners to understand product at 3 different levels is for you to understand what is a product and what a marketer should be doing in trying to come up with a product of good quality. The kind of product that you can take it into the marketing environment to compete favorably with other marketers of similar product. Why? Because the moment you resolve to go into marketing activity of any kind, your dealings will be in product or will be related to dealings in product or services. And the moment you accept to go into the market with your product, you can't be the only person with either the product or the services. There must be other marketers with similar product as well as similar services. This is the more reason why you must get yourself prepared to go into competition with other marketers of similar product or similar services. And it is when you have product of best quality being made available to the customers at a very, very reduced rate that you can be able to compete favorably. So if you must compete favorably, you must understand the strategies associated with the product. And to understand the strategies, you must understand product at 3 different levels. You should always have it at the back of your mind that consumers are not only buying a merely physical item. What they are buying is a typical product. And this product is at 3 different levels. At the level of what? The core level, or at the tangible level, that is the actual level, or at the augmented level. So I've just explained the core level of the product, which has to do with the benefit. And I've equally explained the actual or the tangible. Has to do with what? It has to do with the encompassing features of the product, be it the quality, the style, the branding style, the packaging, the labeling, as well as other features of the product. So if you want to understand the augmentation aspect of the product, we must consider product that consists of after-sales services. Why? Because when we say augmentation, as the word implies, what complement the buying? As the marketer, you produce the product. As you're producing the product, you involve yourself in some activities in an effort to complement buying, to assist customers into buying. And as part of such complement, as part of such effort, at times you find yourself going into installation activities, into delivery of goods and services, into award of credit, warranties, as well as other after-sale services, even technical information services. At times you provide some technical information services. At times you provide services of maintenance. And you're all into this because you want to help consumers into buying so that you can help them to tap maximum benefit. Why? Because they are buying because they want to benefit from the product. So what we are saying, learners, in essence, anytime you see consumers buying a product, you don't just assume they are buying physical item. You assume that they are buying comfort as well as possession utility. And if you must assume that they are buying comfort as well as possession utility, you must always be considering product at 3 different levels: the core level, the augmented level, as well as the actual tangible level. Why? Because it is when you consider the core level, product at core level, the tangible level, as well as the augmented level, that you can be able to provide them with comfort as well as possession utility. Why? Because they always want to measure satisfaction in terms of total utility. So the next is another study session for the day, which is equally very, very important. What I did, as we are trying to understand the various marketing mix elements, which is the product, price, place, and promotion, I'm taking you into important topics for the semester as it relates to the product. And you can see, since our topic for today has to do with marketing mix, we want to take all those areas related to product itself so that we can understand the first element. By the time we're through with the first element, we move into other areas, namely the price, the place, as well as the promotion. So as you can see, as in part of the continuation of our today's lecture, we equally want to make effort to understand product classifications. Why are we interested in understanding product classifications? Why? Because the more we understand various product categories, the more we are likely going to devise the right strategy on how we can market them more effectively and efficiently. Remember what I told you earlier on. As a marketer, you can't be the only person with either the product or the services. There must be others with similar product or similar services. An indication that you should be prepared to go into competition with other marketers of similar product or similar services. Because you want to enjoy competition, because you want to compete favorably. Now, you're looking at the various classifications of the product so that you can understand the product with respect to strategy planning. This is the essence. So we want you to understand these various product categories with respect to strategy planning. In the event that you're a marketer of X category of product, what will be the right marketing strategy to adopt? So when we study this session, we should be able to understand those strategies. Now, as you can see, products are classified based on durability and tangibility. What we mean by non-durable goods, these are tangible goods that are normally consumed in 1 or 2 uses. That is an example of soap, soft drink, rice, sugar, milk, because this is what we mean by non-durable. They are simply consumer goods. What doesn't survive many uses? Consumer goods, they are not permanent in nature. They are being purchased frequently. They doesn't survive many uses. As you're buying them, you're exhausting them. You continue to be buying. They doesn't survive many uses. And consumers have adequate knowledge about them. So when you hear consumer good or non-durable good, they are the same thing. So also the durable good. These are tangible goods that survive many uses. When you hear durable good, we mean industrial good. We are trying to understand product categories. And products are of 2 different categories. It is either a consumer good or an industrial good. And when we say consumer good, we mean non-durable good. And one durable good, as I've said, there are those kind of goods that we have adequate knowledge about them. We know what to buy, how to buy, when to buy, and where to buy. Like sugar, like rice, like yam, like milk. They are household items. They could be staples items. We have adequate knowledge about them. They are consumer goods, sometimes being referred to as non-durable goods. So also the durable goods, as the word implies, durables. Industrial goods. These are the kind of goods that survive many uses. They are permanent in nature. The nature of the purchases are infrequent. So consumers lack knowledge about them. Just the opposite of the consumer. Just the opposite of the non-durables. As you can see, durable goods, they are tangible goods that survive many uses. E.g. refrigerators. For example, refrigerators, clothing, radio, television, chairs, etc. Then we have another categories of services.